Good morning and welcome, friends of Federated Church. It's always a good opportunity to come together and to share just some thoughts and things that we're thinking about. I am so thinking of you in every moment and pray that you are doing well and that you are safe. And what a beautiful day God has given us today. And I hope that you are spending some time outside and just breathing in that fresh air and how soothing that is and how helpful it is to our spirits. Also, I hope you're taking some time to think about the blessings in your life, the blessings of being at home. I have so enjoyed being in my home, a place of safety and comfort, a place where I can go for retreat and feel God's presence. And I hope you're enjoying the blessing of family that so enriches and touches us in such spectacular ways. And I hope you are enjoying and giving thanks for your friends and the way they influence you, the way they touch you, the way they reach out to you, even in isolation. And I pray that you are thinking of your church as a blessing in your life and how we all look forward to that time when we can be together again. And I hope you're looking at the blessing of nature and this wonderful world that God has created for us. I hope as you spend this time in isolation and separation that you are giving some time to counting your blessings. And in counting your blessings, above all, I hope you are thinking about your relationship with God and what you understand about God. I have a great deal of respect for theologians and their wise sayings and their clear understanding of who God is. And one of those theologians that I'd like to share with you this morning is Danny Button. Danny is 8 years old and is from Chula Vista, California. And he writes to us about an explanation of God. He writes, "One of God's main jobs is making people. He makes them to replace the ones that die, so there will be enough people to take care of things on earth. He doesn't make grown-ups, just babies. I think because they're smaller and easier to make. That way he doesn't have to take up his valuable time teaching them to talk and walk. He can just leave that to mothers and fathers. God's second most important job is listening to prayers. An awful lot of this goes on since some people, like preachers and things, pray at times besides bedtime. God doesn't have time to listen to the radio or TV because of this. Because he hears everything, there must be a terrible lot of noise in his ears unless he has thought of a way to turn it all off. God sees everything and hears everything and is everywhere, which keeps him pretty busy. So you shouldn't go wasting his time by going over your mom and dad's head asking for something they said you couldn't have. Atheists are people who don't believe in God. I don't think there are any in our town. At least there aren't any who come to my church. Jesus is God's Son. He used to do all the hard work like walking on water and performing miracles and trying to teach the people who didn't want to learn about God. They finally got tired of him preaching and they crucified him. But he was good and kind, like his Father. And he told his Father that they didn't know what they were doing and to forgive them. And God said, okay. His dad, God, appreciated everything that he had done and all his hard work on earth, so he told him he didn't have to go out on the road anymore. He could stay in heaven. So he did. And now he helps his dad out by listening to prayers and seeing things which were important for God to take care of and which ones he can take care of himself without having to bother God. Like a secretary, only a whole lot more important. You can pray anytime you want, and they are sure to help you because they get it worked out, so one of them is on duty all of the time. You should always go to church on Sunday because it makes God happy. And if there's anybody you want to make happy, it is God. Don't skip church to do something you think will be more fun, like going to the beach. This is wrong. And besides, the sun doesn't come out at the beach until noon anyway. If you don't believe in God, besides being an atheist, you will be very lonely because your parents can't go everywhere with you, like to camp, but God can. It's good to know He's around you when you're scared, in the dark, or when you can't swim and you get thrown into real deep water by big kids. But you shouldn't just always think of what God can do for you. I figure God put me here for a purpose, and there are things that I can do. And He can take me back anytime He pleases. And that's what I believe about God. I so appreciate the words that Danny has, and I appreciate the time he took to have a clear understanding of who God is in his life. And I hope that you take these moments that we have been given in isolation and separation to think about your relationship with God, how it touches you and how it blesses you and how it fills you up and enriches your entire life. And I hope it becomes a blessing to you. Amen.